Dun, 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 dun. My old Bujo's finally done. Bujo, Bujo, time to start another one. Turn the Bujo page. Yay! Hi. Okay, this is a video for setting up my new bullet journal for June 2024. The last one took 17 months to finish because I didn't use it that often, and as a result, I'm starting a book in the middle of a year. Writer Carroll in his Bullet Journal University course thing now refers to this as chapter review, and I like that title, the idea that you're starting a new chapter, turning a new page, and getting into a new book. So I will show you the setup. It's pretty straightforward, not a ton of change, but it doesn't matter. People like to see this stuff. But I also talk a little bit about the reflection process of the chapter review and kind of what I got out of that and how I went about that process, which is a little bit different. If you have a YouTube channel for bullet journaling, it only makes sense to also review the videos that you made during the year for that channel. And in doing so, that meant that not only was I looking at last 17 months bullet journal, but also kind of looking at the one before that, because I was reviewing this during the videos I made while I was using this or setting it up in order to get ready to make this one. So these are all bullet journal edition 2. This was the first one, just your standard black, and then I had the Bujo Blue 22. And now we have the Bullet Journal 2 Edition X, because it's the 10-year anniversary of Bullet Journal. And this one is gilded, so people are going to think I'm carrying around a Bible, perhaps. But I also bought the nice little pen loop to keep your pen in, and chose a weapon that actually fits. This is a Bic Roller Glide Pro, which apparently you can't buy very easily in the United States. Why? It's usually easier to put it in there than this, I swear. So that fits in there fairly nice. And my backup is the Precise V7 by Pilot. That's not why we're here. Can you please stop talking about that? Okay, we're going to look at the review process, setup for the new book, and thoughts and feelings as we go. Okay, I'm going to put you back up on the stalk here, so please hold. How are we doing? Are we lined up? Last time I did this, I was thinking this is a terrible setup because I can't see the screen, that's up there while I'm recording. And then I realized I could just raise the seat that I'm sitting in. And oh, it's a miracle of modern technology. Ta-da! All right, so where do I want to start? I want to start in the old book because that's where I did the chapter reflection begins. And in the old book, I did it very much the way that Ryder has talked about doing it for a while now. This isn't new. And I actually set this chapter log up. Let's see. Okay, just want to make sure there's nothing in there I don't want you to see. I set this chapter review up before I knew it was called a chapter review, and I set it up right when I got the book. I actually went back and picked the page, so it is the very last page. And first thing I found interesting was that the ratio of want, don't want, more of, less of is better than it was last time. So we go back to the 2022. My poor camera's like, what do you want me to focus on, for God's sake? So a little more of what worked is here, and a lot of stuff stayed the same, but there's some transition, which I think is good. The biggest thing that I noticed going back through my old book is that I was depressed. I noticed that there was more depression there than I realized, and I don't doubt that is because of the passing away of my dad. I don't doubt that for a second. And I think one of the things I realized, probably one of the biggest things I realized, I don't know why I put you back on the stalk. I want to talk to you as a person. I have to remember, though, that every time I switch like this, there's a very real possibility of me hitting the wrong button and then totally screwing up this entire video. For 17 months, I lasted in one book, and the reason is that I used to use my bullet journal as a task manager almost primarily, right? I had a big job with a lot of responsibilities, and I had the need to find ways to track a lot of stuff. And when I say stuff, I mean tasks, like actions, projects, workaday things. So that resulted in Frankenlog. That was really the basis of the creation of Frankenlog, was I needed to be able to indicate so many things on so many different days and avoid using a digital task manager, because as a person with ADHD, if you put something in a task manager, in a digital one, it's gone. It's just gone. You never see it again. It's in there, but if you're anything like me, you'll spend way more time setting the damn thing up than you will actually using it, and that is a ridiculous waste of time. How are you guys feeling with this up the nose camera here? I'm just putting this on this so I don't have to hold it the whole time, because I tend to cover the microphones. Anyway, stop distracting me. And so without the need to manage all those tasks, the bullet journal started falling to the side. I was like just adding random events. I was like putting my client calendar in for the daily logs just to be able to say I was using it, which I already mentioned. But because I had failed to really engage with the more valuable part of bullet journaling, which is the mindfulness aspect of it, right? The attentive aspect of it, which is arguably what I need most as a person with ADHD. And because of that, I really stopped using it. There were entire months that I didn't even make a spread. There was nothing for me to do. The other part was, if I'm being honest, because of the mood, the depression, the lack of drive, I wasn't really working on anything. So even the things I could have been tracking on a task management level, I wasn't. And I really wasn't doing a lot for myself. So I don't know if you knew this or not, but I'm 47, and so life at this, time at this point in life is quite different than when I was, for example, in my 20s, right? Because at 47, a year ain't shit. It goes by so fast, right? A period of a year or two, it's gone, and you can't even, it's a blur. Like, it all blurs together. You can't even remember. And for younger people, a year seems like a long time. And I should probably have more appreciation for what a year is, because I'm going to have less and less of them, right? Like, the longer you live, the sooner you die. That sounded morbid, but it's true. And so the reality is, time flies and it feels like nothing. And so this 17-month period, this 2-year period, it feels like a flash in the pan, even though so much happened during it, and it's gone, right? Like, time, that's the one thing that, the one movement you can't avoid is constantly moving into your own future, which is kind of a wild idea. So here I am, and in looking back through the book, I think, okay, so let's talk about the realizations, right? That's the whole point of a chapter review, is literally reading the book, going back through, looking at all the pages, seeing everything that I wrote, looking at the daily logs, reading all the long form journaling. I wrote 6 pages about a dinner cruise that I spent 4 hours as nauseated as any human has ever been. Thumbs down. And it was in Hawaii, so it cost us $250 each to be on that boat. Jenny had a delicious meal, and I got rid of whatever meals I had had earlier in the day. Hey-o. Anyways, stop distracting me. So yeah, going through and reading sort of everything that's in here, reading the my long form journaling, I call it free flow, and realizing that it's always easy to tell what spot I'm in, because when I'm in a bad spot, my longhand journaling is always kind of like, what's wrong with me? Why aren't I doing this? Or what's going on with me? But it's not a bad thing, right? And also, I will say, when I watched the videos that I made over the last couple of years, which was very, very few, you could tell there was less energy there. And of course, this isn't me being hard on myself. Like, yes, my dad died, and of course that video is low energy, but I'd also reached a point, and it was gradual and it was steady, because there was a point in my life where I was like, I could never imagine being over 200 pounds. And then I was over 200 pounds, and it was very easy to imagine. But there's also a video, one of those videos, I dropped my book on the ground, sitting in this very location, right? I dropped my book on the ground, and I had to go get it, and I was like, and not exaggerate, I was really it was really hard to bend down and pick that up, because I had 50 extra pounds, basically on my belly, right? Because that's where guys hold it. But my fingers looked bigger, and my head looked bigger, and I felt bigger. And I'm going to do a video about my weight loss experience. I'm not going to get into that now. But so that was what I kind of got out of the videos. And so this is my review notes, right? I put, I was reminded that I had trigger finger, and I mentioned that in a video or two. For long story, TLDR, my thumbs were clicking and sticking so bad that it was difficult to write, and that really screwed up my ability to interact with my bullet journal. And like, you want to talk about increased friction for journaling? That's it right there. It hurts to do, and my hand would wear out very quickly. I now have, it's come to find out from talking to the hand doctor, I have like trigger finger in like 7 out of 10 fingers, but most of the time it's fine. It's just sort of like a clicky feeling. This one clicks all the time. Can you hear it? I'll have to listen to this later to see whether you can actually hear that clicking. But I got shots and that got it back. But fair play. It wasn't just like a lack of motivation or lack of focus. It was also a physical inability to sort of interact with it. There was also I noticed that was the year that 2022 is when I fell off of no candy and really fell off. I'd gone 18 months without eating any candy because I don't moderate, and abstinence is easier. And that's what I'm back to now, by the way, once I started Weight Watchers in September. What else did I write? Okay, video games, video tone seems somewhat negative. Okay, I wrote that. Kind of funny to see how often I play the same video games. So in my monthly log, I keep track of everything I've read or played, books, movies, and video games. And there are certain, clearly Railway Empire is my grail, is my go-to game. That's going to be my Desert Island game, right? I swear to God, I'm going to put this back on the book as soon as I'm done with this section, because there are some things in my review that I don't want you to see. They're personal, which is weird, right? Because usually I just show you everything, but this is too personal. And so anyways, stop distracting me. Nope, that's none of your business. Interesting that I basically didn't mention my weight loss efforts at all on social media until I hit my 50 pounds. Seems like a good thing, means my focus was in the right place. That is unusual for me. Like, even when I was failing to do a C2 5K a couple of years ago, I was like putting it on TikTok with the, ADHD C2 5K. Sounds like a lot of letters. None of your business. I really enjoy being able to look back over the year or the book and relive my experiences. I don't want that to be lost. That's one of the things that I really like about bullet journaling in general is, like I said, as the longer you live, the faster things go, the less you retain. And we're not good at remembering things. And I'm shocked by how many things would have just ceased to exist in my reality if I hadn't written them down in a bullet journal to remind myself. And then... that's it. That's kind of like the big hits that are going to be outside of my what worked and what didn't. So let's go back to that, okay? Let's just get back on track. God, you don't have to look at me. Look at the book. Okay, there we go. See, that's how you know you're watching my video, one of my videos. 13 minutes in and we've barely done a damn thing. So one of the things that he mentions in the chapter review video that he did was that, like, this is all process related, this is purpose related. So this is more related to emotional well-being, which helped me a little bit because in the past when I've done this exercise, I've struggled to know like which should go on which page. So as far as process works, let's talk about what didn't. Let's do negative then positive. So what didn't work? Half-assing my Bujo practice. Fair. What's that 23 setup video? What is this? Perceiving my Bujo as a task manager, right? The other thing, though, this is a professional issue, getting to work just in time. Like if I have a client at 1 o'clock, then planning to arrive at work at 1 o'clock, that's no good. It doesn't look good, and I sort of journaled on it and realized that it might come across as disrespectful to the client, even though it's not my intent. And being that I'm chronologically myopic, go watch that video, I need to just assume I have to leave sooner than my ADHD brain thinks that I need to. Less of fast food and candy. Since this is covering 17 months and I started Weight Watchers in September of 23, this still applies. I don't eat fast food very often now, but no candy at all. I've been totally off of candy since September 25th. And oh my God, the withdrawals from candy were like as bad as drugs. Like, I'm in recovery. I'm just saying, it was crazy. There were some really hard days. Okay, what worked? Weight Watchers, losing weight. interesting intentions revelation. Oh yeah, your wants mostly take care of. Oh, this chick Becky C. By the way, thanks Becky. This one Becky C on Facebook. When I posted, I thought it was interesting that these tended to be mental and these were physical. And she said, your wants will mostly take care of your don't wants. Oh, she was talking about my intentions page. That's right. My old intentions page. No, that's not it. That's not it. I swear there's an intentions page. Here, my intentions page, right? Like the idea that, my... your wants will mostly take care of your don't wants, right? So if I do this, I don't have to worry about this. And she's right, and I'm not doing that this way in the new book. Oh, wait, did I forget to set up? We're going to find out. I might have forgotten to set up my new intentions. Doing notes right away at work, not putting off doing client notes because they build up, obviously. More of intentional gratitude, right? Actively choosing to take time during the day to be grateful for things and be aware of how rare and beautiful it is to even exist, which is one of my favorite lyrics. Google it. Early to bed, cuddling with Jenny, love it. One of the advantages of losing all the weight is that I'm not using my CPAP anymore, which is kind of crazy. So now it's back to getting to cuddle with Jenny. And if I go to bed early, then I get to cuddle with her because she goes to sleep earlier than me. Owning my roles and identities. So being more in touch with my identity as a recovering person and as a professional therapist. And even this is a role, this is a thing. I enjoy doing this, so kind of reconnecting with that and why I did it. The experience of not craving anything. So this is awesome. This is a revelation that I had after being off candy for a few months, that if I'm not eating fast food and I'm not eating candy, right? No fast food, no candy. I'm following Weight Watchers, so a whole lot less dessert and stuff like that. And then one day I had this realization that I didn't have anything in my life that I currently craved. And that started me on a whole thought process of, do we incorrectly use the word love a lot of the time when we're talking about something that we crave? Like I love candy. Do I love candy? Because it's not positive. It doesn't do anything good for me. It never satisfies me. I always want more, and it's bad for me. So I don't think crave and love should be used interchangeably. I think in general things that we crave are bad. So that was kind of like a big deal. It's sort of like an aha moment. More recovery participation, being engaged with the men that I work with and being around people in recovery. And then making and allowing time for recreational thought. Turning off the YouTube when I'm, I don't always have to be listening to a video. I don't always have to be listening to an audiobook when I'm in the shower. I enjoy the things that I realize when I allow myself to think, so why not let myself think? Okay, so there you go. That's from the old book, and then after doing that, I did my chapter review notes, which I'm not going to show you because it's none of your damn business. So that's the old book, and that's why I had this one here. I thought I might end up referencing my old book. I think I did do a chapter review in this one, which is kind of similar, but each time hits different because it's different. It's a different time, and even if something looks like it says the same thing, that doesn't mean it means the same thing. Here we go, new book. This is the setup for. Somebody's probably going to appreciate it if I just put time marks in here so that somebody who doesn't want to hear all the last shit I was just saying can jump to this. So, yep, I did not do an intention for June. Interesting. And I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I am not going to try to do it on camera with you. One, because I don't think it'll be genuine. Two, it's going to be really hard to write while the camera's running. And three, it's more important than that. So there's my error. I am going to leave, I'll put a little placeholder. How's that? We'll do that just to sort of remind me. 6, and we'll be honest about the date here. 10, 24. Okay, so that's where it's going to go. These were the old intentions, and I'm not doing the whole positive negative thing anymore. Nobody told me to do that. I was trying to sort of copy the old chapter review thing. Interestingly enough, in the newer literature and discussions over on bulletjournal.com and Bullet Journal University is a lot of talk of removing the word task and using the word action instead. because tasks tend to be very like, I don't know, we sort of think of work when we think of tasks. So possibility of maybe switching that up a little bit. I didn't change it in here. Just didn't feel like it. But one of the things I like is the idea that this is the note symbol. But if I decide to write about that note in my like longhand journaling, I can turn that into a plus to mean that I journaled about it. So maybe we can talk about that more later. I've got your standards here. My other is one of my favorite ones that I've kept for years is the in-back pocket symbol. So if there's something that I need to keep, if I have a task that has something in the back pocket, I might have one in. Yeah, I do. So schedule my tooth crown, and there's a little in-back pocket, because if you go to the back pocket, I've got the dentist information back there that I need. So that's a handy little symbol to remind you that there's something back there that you need. Waiting for is if I've asked somebody something else to do something. This is a new one that Ryder sort of talked about lately. This is a task that's been migrated out of the book. So if you do have a task management system of some sort, like a digital, or you do use a calendar that you want to put something on there, or some other system, like maybe he talks about having to work with other people on stuff. So this would be a way to indicate that you've moved it out of the book to something else. I like this. If there's an email related to something that I'm working on, then I can use this to say, go look at the email. This is new. This is a mood. So you have, your basic ones are task, note, event, and now we have mood. So this is, you can, if you're having an experience, I like this. I like the idea of being able to sort of track a feeling, and instead of having a note, like having a very specific, very specific symbol to look for, there you have it. And then if I wrote more about why I felt that way, we have the mood reflected, which is a neat symbol. I like that. And then this is just inspiration. I don't even know if I'm going to use it or not, but I have, so I put it there. Okay. Old intention was to be active, healthy, and keep up with Jenny. Be weigh 165. So we're still working towards that. And last month I said I wanted to be more present in my life day to day, to be more focused, productive, and thoughtful. I still like this. What he said, is that going to be... No, we're not doing this. I am not putting one down on camera. Shush. Shh. Shh. Quit it. All right, let's move on. We've got our index. Oh, so one of the things that I did mention that is not this month I'm doing, or this book, I would like to do cursive. I want to get better at my cursive. I enjoy writing in cursive. I love how flowy it is. I love that like each word is like one big ass line. It's kind of fun. And yeah, so also because of bullet journaling, people started seeing my handwriting and said like, oh, you have cool handwriting. And I was like, what now? Huh? That's not what I thought. I thought it was messy and sloppy, and maybe it is. Maybe it is messy and sloppy, but the fact that people said that it was cool, I like that too. I also like that people have referred to it as like founding fathers handwriting. Like this is like the sort of, like you write like the Constitution or something like this. I don't know. Anyways, index. So because I'm doing cursive, I'm trying to leave enough space. I've got my my index here, and part of the chapter reflection is looking back at all your different, you're looking through your table of contents or your index, looking at all the collections you've had in the last book and deciding which ones should get carried over and which ones shouldn't. Did I actually mark them in the old book as I did that? I really didn't. I really just kind of went through and reviewed to see what was in there and what needed to get passed along. Oh yeah, the Wacky Weekly. I remember that. That was kind of cool. Somebody said, make a weekly, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. That's the Wacky Weekly. The camera's kind of close, but the stick is really hard to adjust, so we're not going to move it. Anyways, you go through and you mark the ones that you think need to come with, and you mark off the ones that don't. I brought very little, right? Because it's kind of like a new horizon. Can you? Oh man, I bet you can see the pores in my face. It's like a new horizon right now for me with bullet journaling. I'm trying all new things. Okay, I'll stop. I'm trying all new things, so a lot of new things, and so I didn't want to really move a whole lot in. Check out that capital F, though, huh? That turned out pretty good. So I got my intentions, my future life, the very basic stuff. I'm not going to do it here because you're going to see it as we go through. Space for the index. Future log, totally blank. This is, in the past, I have done, what do you call it? Alistair method for future logs. Because I was always worried about running out of space. This is just insanity, don't worry about it. I was always worried about running out of space. And it really occurred to me that I barely put anything in the future log. And like this was all text messages and checking a fire extinguisher and paying bills. Well, I keep track of my bills in a program now, so I don't need that. The text message thing is in my calendar. So and since I'm not using this for tasks anymore, I don't know what this is going to be for. I wanted to put it in here, so I had it. But instead of doing 3 months a page like he does in his setup writers, I did 4 months a page so that I would have room for my someday maybe list. So I have all these. Time will tell. We'll see what I use it for. But I do have my someday maybe list, which okay, just making sure nothing bad on there that you're not allowed to see. So yeah, just things that I want to get done someday maybe, that I don't want, that I think need to be here. I think this is a critical collection for me, because these are not things that are worth moving from month to month. They are worth reviewing every week or month at the very minimum to see when they're going to get done, but they don't need to keep moving. And the way that the system is set up now, it gives you lots of times to review. Oh God, there's so much rambling going on right now. My realizations page has not changed. It's just in cursive now. These are things that I need to be reminded about myself on a regular basis, because if I don't, I will forget, and they are important. What I want and what I need are often not the same. If what I want is not what I need, I can never get enough of it. Production makes me happier than consumption. It's okay to like attention, but celebrity is toxic. If I don't procrastinate, I tend to enjoy the task and still have free time, but without guilt and dread. I need structure to be the best version of me. Meditation is quick and easy and amazing. It massively improves my life. And most important, if I don't pay attention to my life, I miss important things. I don't like this at all. Huge message. This is an example of one I probably should have waited to put in, right? I'm so used to having a when did I last page, which is a page where you write down the last time you did certain tasks. So I didn't even use it that much in my last one, but I'll show you what it looked like. So like there's the when did I last. Yeah, that's right. You read that right. The last time we cleaned the tub was in March, and before that, just don't judge, okay? Anyways, dusted the bedroom ledge 4 years ago. That's fine. But so this was the when did I last, which is handy. It's a helpful thing to have. But I wasn't using it that much. And again, I've kind of moved task management out of my bullet journals. So it's here. Maybe I'll get to use it. I thought that capital L turned out really good. So yeah. Stuff to make. Okay, so this is a collection of things I would like to make. I enjoy producing things, whether it's videos or models or whatnot. This looks like it's, interestingly, all videos. So stay tuned here. I guess here's your agenda for things I'm going to make. Okay, Frankenlight, I should say. I don't know. It's weird. I wonder what I should do with the webpage, because I don't know if I'll use Frankenlog in its original form anymore, because I don't use task management, and it's very much designed for task management. But I don't know. Anyways, this is a Frankenlight. Just down the page, I'm following the 1 line a day, just writing one thing that sort of talks about the whole day. Got the whole month, and then I've got the task, the habit tracking here. So the box here on the side, there's one for each week. And I can use that to track whether I did planning, whether I exercised. Oh, I totally did planning for this week. So let's... Can you see that? Okay, good. Totally did planning for this. Oh, and I'm producing the shit out of this video. So here we go. There we go. So that's nice. And then if you do all 4 things, you get a star day. I don't have any star days, but that's okay. And then you can just pick whichever thing you're looking for. Like, just you program your brain, like, okay, how often did I produce something? It's at that slash, so I can see I did it here, here, here. It's super easy just to pick which line you're looking for. Like, did I go walking? Yep, here, 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 here. It's great. It's 1 box per day. Track like 4 or 5 habits. You could add a 5th one if you wanted to by just adding like putting a dot with another task, and that last task is a big fat dot that you fill in the middle, like right there. Anyways, 1 box for each day, and then 1 box for each week, and the week has different things that I track. Very basic setup. I kind of liked how the boxes looked, so I decided to do this. I'll tell you what, though, I really like August in this last book, and I wonder if I won't do some variation of this next month. Brian, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's May. That's February. Do you know how months work, Brian? All right, I'm picking on myself. That's just mean. I thought it was August. Oh, God. Oh no! What am I doing? What's it all mean? I know I saw it a little bit ago. Hold on a second. Just hold on a second. Pause. Okay, I lied. It was August, but it was not in the last book. It was actually in the 2022 book. But I kind of like I like the, I don't know, the clean spread out look of this, where I've got like my little key right here, and then I spread it out so that you know, the whole month takes up both pages, and I've got a little Dutch door going on there. I kind of dig that. So maybe I'll do something like that in the future. But for now, I like the box. There's something meditative about drawing this out. There's plenty of other months where I didn't bother. But I also had like a lot of cases of the FFs, so it doesn't surprise me that I didn't go through much effort to make my my bullet journal spreads. They had gotten very basic. Oh, not this one. This is May. I did great. Like when I got back into it in May, I really went to town. I did quite good. Used it a lot. And yes, it is slightly harder to read with cursive, but it wasn't that easy to read in the first place. And I like cursive, so leave me alone. So I got my 1 line a day thing over here, and then this is a combination of actions, media, and thoughts. So these are all the different things that I might write down in there during the month. I don't know why thoughts go there now that I'm thinking about it. There was some funny stuff last year. I want to be better at finishing things is one thought I had written. I never said that I agree with Mr. Hazard. That was a funny joke a buddy made about my dad. And make more intentional quiet time. Yeah, so it's an option. I could put thoughts there. I could also put them in my daily log. I don't know why they have to go in the monthly, but I do like keeping track of things that I have read and watched and played, so I do that with media. And then these are just actions to get done for the month. Maintenance for my car, so that's a spread. Oh, quotes and quips. Yeah, I like this. This is like a new collection I'm starting for if I think or say something that I think is worth keeping. Like, okay. This first one sounds negative, but it's not meant to be negative. It's meant to point out the transitional aspect of relationships, right? That all things end, right? The entropy of the universe. So keep that in mind. This is for like relationship counseling. You know, almost all relationships end in death, distance, disagreement, or divorce. There was a lot of D's in there, so it sort of caught my ear. Oh, that's the song. My old book is finally done. Bujo, bujo. Nothing is noble if everything is required. I like that. Two asexual couples could have a for none. Thank you. When we look back on ourselves, we are often also looking down. That's true. Anxiety is artificially preparing for a non-existent future. This is not mine. I just heard somebody say it and I liked it. Worry is debt you pay on a loan you never owed. Nice. I like that. And action is the antidote to anxiety. That's not bad. I got to think about that one a little more, but it's not bad. Bullseye Ball is a game I keep in my office, and since kids always mess with the score by just putting their finger in the target and ruining the high score, this is where I keep track of that. Stuff I want to read or watch, basic list, nothing to talk about. Dirty dailies. So these are very dirty dailies because I was sitting in meetings and I tend to doodle. So this daily got very dirty. Here is a day. The date is actually hidden kind of up in here. It got doodled over. And you'll see that like I shifted over after that to make room. But I love like just geometric doodling. And so I tend during my dailies, you'll see that I use like this little thing here. God, people have watched these videos before. It's so repetitive. If I do long form journaling that day, I will write the page number for that here. So since I did a chapter review on Friday, what I did is I put the page numbers and the bullet journal number, which is number 10. See? Here, so that I could reference it if I wanted to, and then also I did some actual long-form journaling here. Some people journal in their daily log, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I like to have lots of space, and so I do it in a separate place that I call Free Flow, which is just an ongoing collection that gets threaded throughout my book. So on page 24, if you look over here, ta-da! We've got the beginning of Free Flow. Working on those. Not these Fs aren't as good. These aren't great Fs. Yeah. So F in the chat for my cursive. That was a video game nerd reference. So yeah, so I got my dailies going now. And then right in the middle of that, I thought I wanted to have this collection of things that spark joy. If I had been thinking, I probably would have found a new blank spread to put it on, but I didn't. And it went there, which means that this page of daily log is only 1 page long, and then it's going to go on to the next one. So what I do is I write the next page number right down there. It's called page threading. Don't know who came up with it, but it's amazing. Things that spark joy. This is just things that I like to do, and when I think about what makes me happy, now I have a spread to remind me of what that is. Okay, we got my free flow, I already mentioned it. And when I run out of room here, I'll just thread the page down here to wherever the next blank spread is. And then we have the weekly reflection. This is like the weekly ritual from the new bullet journal system, like the Bullet Journal University. So it's not I guess it's a weekly spread, technically, because there are tasks that I intend to do this week that I've collected from elsewhere. Well, yeah, I'll tell you. So the weekly reflection technically comes first. I just put them backwards by accident when I headed them up. So this is looking at the last week of my life, looking at my dailies and my weekly and all that stuff, and then I do a little bit of writing about how the week went, what worked, what didn't. It could be long form, it could be bullets like I do, doesn't matter. But it gives you a chance. And while doing this, you may come up with realizations of things you want to take care of, and they go into a weekly plan. These are tasks that I want to get done during the week. If what I come up with while I'm writing and thinking and pondering and pontificating and reviewing and navel-gazing is something that isn't going to happen during the week, then I don't put it here. I actually put it either in my daily log, like for the day that it is, if I'm going to do it that day, or I put it back on the monthly log, right? If I'm going to do it sometime this month, just not this week, then I would put it here. Or if it's not going to happen way later, then I suppose that's where it would go into the future log, and it's there if I need it, sort of thing. I'm glad I did it. I got no regrets. So that's anything new that comes from here you put over here, and then anything that, if I look back over the last week of dailies, and I wasn't actually that good with dailies, strangely enough, for this past week, even though I was using my bullet journal all the time. I was actually using the monthly log more than I was the daily log. Although I'm showing you these pages, I'm really talking about the last book, because this book didn't exist during most of that time. So anyways, yeah. So focusing on that last week and then planning for the next week. Oh wait, it did exist. Listen, don't listen to my words, okay? Why did you come here? Certainly not to listen to that. So here's the next week, and so these are things not only from what I wrote, but also looking back and saying like, oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna buy some earplanes for my trip to visit my sister. I need those for the flight. So I had written them during the dailies from last week, but I'm gonna migrate them over and put them right here because it has to happen this week. If it wasn't going to happen this week, then I would probably migrate it to the monthly log or the future log. But this is like an opportunity to sort of drag a net through the last week of dailies and make sure nothing gets left behind. So, grabbed anything here, asking about EMDR training and emailing stuff for the LCPC to Donnie, and I put that over here. And actually, this is done already. I literally just knocked that out, like, right away, like email LC. So this is done. I'm just gonna knock that off. Boop, boop, done. So at this point, now I have my weekly plan. These are things that I can do anytime during the week. And so I have it if I need it. And I'm going to look at this every morning while I'm doing my daily reflection so I can look at which things I'm going to do. And I like the idea that, like, okay, I have said I am committing to doing these things. These are things I'm going to do this week. If I'm not going to do them this week, don't put them on here. I prioritize this because this is important, getting ready for a convention I'm going to next week. So that's going to be what needs doing. So we're going to do that. And so when I did my daily log today, there's a couple of things I thought of that I already knocked out. That was for work. That was from my weekly. And I just made a note that a bunch of people canceled today, which is why I'm here doing this video instead of at work, FYI. And the new Bujo setup video. Hey! Oh wait, I'm not going to cross it off till it's done. Because what if I hit a button and accidentally erase the whole thing? You never know. And that's it. So that is the setup for the new one. It's still got lots of room. I didn't even set up a new... I already doodled. I did already doodle. I was in a meeting and I was bored and I was like, ooh, let me doodle. And then there was a slight ghosting and I was like, ooh, let me... Yeah, that's what I did. That's the setup. Yeah. So I know what you're thinking. What's next? What are we going to be doing? Well, you saw it. I want to do some videos on stuff that's not just bullet journaling, but some stuff that belonged to my dad that I thought was really kind of cool, that was related to journaling that I wanted to touch on. And just try to be a little more productive on here. I think I said I was going to do more videos, and then I did, how long was it between this one and the last one? Let's not wonder. Let's just go look. Hold on. A month ago. It was a month ago. Here's the thing. I've been on Facebook and I've been on Bujo U. So I'm not doing videos, just for the record. There was I had one realization I want to bring up. There was in my 2022 review, I think, I had seen a little note that I had written that said notes are done, had a lot to do, but the notes are done. And there was little music notes, and some part of me thought I was going to remember what the tune was, and during that video I could not remember the tune. I do remember the tune. It is a Lost Forest tune from The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. So it was notes are done, time, wait. Notes are done, had a lot to do, but the notes are done. Yeah, that one. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, go find it. Thank you. That was good. I think it even helped me. Hey, at the very least, you helped me realize that I didn't do my intentions page, which is a oopsie doopsie that I'm going to take care of as soon as I log off here. And then I'm going to go to work and carry on with my day. So that, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks for tuning in and seeing the new page setup. Let us move forward, Bujo Bandits. Let us hold together in solidarity. Carry on with courage, and I'll see you on the next one. Later, skaters.